Good evening, everyone. I'm Charles, and this is Survivor Circle for April 18th, 2023. Our chosen topic for today is actually that. Okay. Our chosen is communications and etiquette. We came upon this topic by I saw a YouTube video by a couple of young people, and they were talking about what are the things you do on particular ways to communicate. There are things that you say over the phone. There are things you send in an email. There are entirely different things that you send on a direct message, and some things you can just send on a text. And I'm looking at that. I thought, yeah, that would be a good topic to go over. And we decided to look into it. The more I look into it, for me, okay, I was born in 1954, and I'm telling you, it is funny to think how many generations of communication capabilities we've gone through in this, well, not quite 70 years. Good evening, Maria. How are you today?
I'm good. Sorry about that.
Oh,
When I got home, my neighbor was here.
Aha.
He's cutting up the tree that's been laying there since early March, and
So you're ready to finish chopping it up before it sprouts leaves?
it already sprouted leaves.
Oh my God.
It's been laying on the ground and all.
Yeah, I know.
Buds.
Yep.
So, but
Long
he was telling me
the roots are connected, it doesn't care.
Yeah, he was telling me that he would have had it all cut up today, but his chainsaw blade went dull. So,
yeah.
But how is sound? How is internet?
You're breaking up a little bit. The usual, like a bad bandwidth situation. And we don't have this trouble when we talk, and it's clears a bell, but it's a little bit breaky, but we'll deal with it. That's okay.
Well, I did not do the hot spot on the phone, which I can go back to if I need to.
Okay. Well, anyway, I already introduced the topic and I got things started here. Nice name choice.
Oh, yeah, I thought you'd say that.
Sir Charles here. Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to practice the proper etiquette, Yes. Yeah. Did I ever tell you about the time I got knighted?
No.
I don't think anybody. It's not something I'm particularly open about, but I am actually a knight. I was knighted by the Secretary of State, I think, or the governor. Can't remember which one it was. Of West Virginia. I am a knight of the Golden Horseshoe. So it was one of those history, kind of 4-H-y history things. So yeah, I thought that's cool, man. The ceremony was awesome. Yeah, you got to kneel down and they tapped you with a sword. It was good culture, Of course, if they'd only known what they were getting themselves into, they'd have used that sword otherwise, I'm sure. Come to think of it, most of those guys are in jail anyway. So, they're all dead now, but they were in jail shortly thereafter. So that's West Virginia politics. That's how it works. You don't retire, you just get incarcerated and finish out your term. Oh, God. Yes, we do not forgive Microsoft for making things so much more difficult. But like I was saying, generations of when I was a kid, the only way to communicate outside of shouting distance was telephone. And thinking about that, we were just, as we were discussing the other day, if you go back 100 years before that, you had the telegraph, the introduction of the telegraph. If you go back 100 years before that, the only, there were mail services, sort of, very slow, and the long form letters were the only communications back in, the only back and forth communications. And really, I will say 200 years before that. But I guess like Isaac Newton and other scientists and Galileo had their own little in court, shall we say, mail system that they could get, well, probably by royal couriers, but from one crown to another crown was the way that most. But the average people had no communication hardly at all, and hardly any use for one. It did them no good to know how good or bad the potatoes were 3 counties over, because those weren't the potatoes they were going to be eating anyway. The ones that what they were eating was within a stone's throw distance. So, yeah, that and you go back from before that. You go back to the Gutenberg press, which brought a more substantial library of words and thoughts and ideas that was more broadly available. But before that, and then there was the written stele, and royal decrees and that kind of monumental messages. But we spent 2.5 we spent 2 million years before that on face-to-face communication. That's what we're built for. That's what we're evolved for. Okay. But we're still the same. We haven't changed in the last 400 years greatly from what we were at least 200,000 years ago. We are the same. We're working with the same equipment. We're the same entities, physical entities, as we were then. And after thinking about that way, it's a damn miracle that we're able to handle this as well as we do, which is not to say we're handling it particularly well, but we are handling it. It's fascinating to me because we have so many options now. We have so many different avenues to express ourselves, so many avenues to communicate. And this is all, really, it's all new. It's just when I was a kid, they had the phone. But I didn't have a phone. I had partial, only if it's really important, use of a phone, of a party line. Okay? We didn't have these. Oh my God, we didn't have these essential items that can't be, that can't be moved out of our sight without causing great stress. Uh, it's funny. And we get so accustomed to these things. We get so accustomed to them that they become it's like an essential part of our. It's like another limb, really, you know. And that's fascinated me for quite some time. But the nitty gritty of it just kind of slipped by me. I use stuff. Oh, excuse me. I use stuff more or less at random. I like Skype. Skype's nice. I hardly ever text anything. As far as instant messenger, I enjoy instant messenger because it allows me a longer form. I send emails only if that's like the only way I can get in touch with somebody. So I mean, it's there's so much, so many different things there. So any thoughts?
Okay, so how many years is it between us?
Between us?
Yeah. I'm 53.
Okay, I'm 17 years.
Okay. I love texting. I love texting.
Yes. Okay.
Because then that way I don't have to talk.
See, that's part of the thing that I don't like, because there's so much nuance in how someone speaks. Okay. It's it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Okay. That I think a lot of the problem with people texting is there is no nuance in texting. A plus B equals, it's duh right here.
Right.
But people figuratively read into, well, are they joking? Are they kidding? Are they being sarcastic? And people get into arguments because something was said this way and they took the meaning to be something entirely different. English is really bad about that. Sometimes words have more than one meaning. And I
keep it short.
What the?
And they also made emojis for that.
Yeah. The emojis I use them sometimes, but they kind of frighten me because I don't know what platform somebody else is using. And some of the platforms that I use, the emojis are so tiny. I'm looking, which one is that? What does that say? And so I don't use it. I don't think of that as a consistent, communication, because it just, I can't guarantee that you're going to see or be able to see what I intended to send. Okay. So it's like, I can't imagine. I'm ready to go back to smoke signals.
Well, they have a middle finger emoji that I use often.
Yes.
So
okay. Well, we all have our favorites. Yes. Let's see which I use rolling on the floor laughing more than any other emoji.
Okay.
Because I like to be sarcastic.
Really?
And that's dangerous.
Shocking. Never would have known
Yes,
that.
I know. You would never. I know you would never have guessed.
Never guessed.
But yes, it's. Yes, we'd like to see Lorraine over here. That would be cool.
Let's see. I don't know if I have
I
Lorraine's Skype.
do not. I'm pretty sure I do not have her on Skype. I've got her on Facebook, but they don't have her on Skype.
I do not, because she's Alice in Wonderland. So,
Yes.
but I did look up some of the things about communication and etiquette.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And one of the things said, don't go into a rant.
Don't go into a rant.
Mm-hmm. So when we're communicating,
that's probably good advice, no matter which communication method you're using. You know, even going back to smoke signals, you don't want to burn the whole forest down. You just want to send a smoke signal.
Right.
Well, that has its own.
Correct.
That has its own. That I guess that has a rant in smoke signals would have its own kind of message.
I wonder if they learned how to send up the middle finger during all of that.
I bet you they did. I bet you they had something like that. I really don't know. I really don't know the details. Well, that's like, there had to be something like a shut the fuck up in Telegraph. I mean, I know there was an end message key. I don't remember what it was, but that's like the shut the fuck up.
Well, you got ST,
well,
FU.
There. Well, you remember CBs, right?
Mm-hmm.
It had its own vocabulary and lexicon. You know, it depended. You could say some things on channel 7 and some things on channel 19. You know, it was not only context. You did words in context, but depending on where you said them, they meant different things.
Yes.
You know.
Well, I do know in the area I lived and worked in, lemonade didn't mean a cool, refreshing drink.
Don't. Yes.
No.
Watch out for the Gatorade bottles.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was a set of ladies that were offering truck drivers lemonade.
Oh.
It wasn't the Gatorade bombs.
What the hell was it? There was some. I thought there was a different one for that. Oh well. Maybe that was regional. I don't know. I never, somehow this whole CB thing kind of missed me. It was like around me, you know. I think I had a CB in one car, and I just didn't pay any attention to it.
Well, I had one.
It was nice to get a heads up if you're cruising down the road as to where the Smokies were.
Smokies. Mm-hmm. I had one in the vehicle because I worked at the coal mines.
Oh yeah.
And then when I left the coal mines and worked in an environmental lab, I was driving an hour at night. I worked third shift at that time. So that was before cell phones. So I had a CB radio, and the conversation was interesting.
Yes. So I mean it's also very, which there's some part of my head that says all this different richness and variation.
Mhm.
Has it helped us communicate better? I don't think so. I think we're like totally overloaded. You know,
Mhm.
we're on the wrong end of the funnel. It's turned, the torrent has turned into a fire hose. You know,
Yes.
and it's not helpful to getting just what we need. And that's, I think, I don't know how we're going to adapt to that. We've got to do something. It is. I mean, I'm not certain, but in my opinion, it's driving us crazy.
Mhm.
And a lot of people are just saying, "Oh fuck it, I'm out of here. I'm turning it all off. Click, 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 click. Now I'm going to focus on my one little bit here, the one thing that I can control, and the rest of it, I don't care."
Mhm.
And that's dangerous.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes, Vivi, I agree 100%. I mean, I don't know. It's like a place for everything, and everything in its place is good. But as people, we need a rich variety of different kinds of information.
Mhm.
You need stuff that's funny. You need stuff that's serious. Sometimes you need to find out and learn things that are essential to your survival.
Mhm.
You know, uh, you the way this quote unquote should work is, it's like you ask a question and you get an answer. You
Mhm.
know, and I thank you, Yuffie. If it were an AI, it'd be different, right? But it's
Mhm.
not. If I want to contact a real certified, honest to God expert, you know, if I've got a serious, well researched question, I don't want to say, Siri, please tell me what day it is. you know,
Right.
that's not what I'm looking.
Right.
That's not the kind of thing I'm looking for.
Mhm.
Uh, Humans need. You got yes, exactly. I don't want to go back to the
Humans need
beginning.
frequent
I don't want to
information.
go back to eating ants off a stick. That is not that is not how far back I want. I don't want to go back at all. I just want to. I guess I wanted some. I know. Here's what I'm going to say, and I'm going to say, oh, I didn't say that. Okay. I want some sort of filter in there. Okay. I want to ask a question and get a decent answer without reading 250 bullshit answers, you
Right.
know, or just trolls, or just, what I'm saying? It should be possible. And in a way, it is possible. I suppose if you're shooting for something in a small window, okay, because I can think of a couple of different kinds of projects that I've worked on for myself. Uh, Building e-bikes, which is something I knew, which not only did I not know anything, nobody, when I started looking at it, nobody knew anything about it. Nobody was doing it. Now it's so damn sophisticated. And I spent about 4 years researching before I built my first one. But I got to be a part of that first innovator community. Okay.
Mhm.
And if I said, what kind of controller works best with this kind of motor, I'd have somebody to give me a detailed answer within a couple of days.
Mhm.
And I knew them from reputation before, and so
Right.
it was like gold clad
Mhm.
guaranteed answer, or as good as
Right.
you could get. I'm sure there are other specialized forums and that kind of thing that I thought, wow, I thought that was just so awesome. That was so to have that. And I I can't think of that in any other thing that pulse width, that's even brushed came before pulse wave modulation.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I'm using that as a root model.
Mhm.
That doesn't work for everything. It doesn't work for a lot of it. Okay, it doesn't work for any of the big the big questions. Okay. Uh, and what are the big questions? What the hell is going on? That's the big question. What the hell's going on? Who the hell are we really? That's a big
Let's not go.
question. And
Let's don't go there.
but it's you know it uh, it's the kind of okay. Let's get back to the etiquette part of it.
Mm.
When is it not okay to use a text? What things can you not put in a text?
Bad news.
Okay, that's kind of gauche to to drop bad news on a text. I guess dropping it on a group text would be even worse.
Mhm.
Okay, whatever. Um, you fire somebody on a text. Is that
Mm.
good
That's bad
protocol?
news.
Um,
That sets you up for a lawsuit.
ooh, okay. Can you drop somebody on a text?
Oh, you can, but it's not good to do that.
Are you saying? Oh, no taking that one back, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's if you're that big of a jerk, sure.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Uh, V says that she'd rather get bad news in a text.
Hmm. Now that's interesting.
Mhm.
I don't know. See, I'm not a tech. I'm not
See, it
that much of
depends
a
on the
tech.
person. It depends on
Yeah.
the person.
Yes. If and like you said, you prefer text for a lot of things, and you use
Mhm.
text a lot. Uh, I may have 2 texts a week,
Mhm.
so I'm not really a user. You know,
Right. Mhm.
I'm still stuck with the other, and I know nobody's going to believe this, but I prefer a longer form. Okay, with sentences and paragraphs. To explain what I'm asking about or what we're conversing about.
That's an email.
Yes, that's an email. Yeah. So,
Text messages were not set up for emails
oh
formats.
yeah, that was why I never really I have in fact I think I've got a couple of Twitter accounts, but
Mhm.
that's why I never really. It's not conducive to the kind of communication that I think is good. It's conducive to bumper stickers, you know, not the theses. Oh, that's theories and hypotheses. Yes, not theses.
Right.
Although there's a lot of that out there too.
But I looked up some kind of business thing, and I meant to print it out and bring it.
Okay.
But I'll have to look it back up again. But it was etiquette in communication, and it was talking about business for business.
Yes.
And it was one of the things I remember it saying was, don't start in with a rant.
Okay.
Don't interrupt anyone else who's speaking.
Okay.
And
how do you interrupt in a text? Interrupt in it. Oh, okay.
No.
Gotcha.
This is business communication.
Okay. Yes. Gotcha.
If you're in a meeting.
Okay.
It's just different types of communication.
Okay. Yeah.
When you're always look the person in the eye when you're speaking to them.
Okay. But that's old-fashioned stuff.
But you look at how many people don't do that anymore.
Oh my God.
And I'm guilty of it.
Yes. One of the things that all these other varying different ways to communicate has done is young people coming up have no idea how they're supposed the proper decorum for a business meeting. I don't know, the little, and I'm not good at this either, but the little social cues, the nuanced expressions in face-to-face communication. Okay, it's not natural. It's not something that's you pick that up moment to moment. I mean, through your entire life, but that's all learned, and because it changes it changes a lot in different cultures. A Japanese business meeting and an American business meeting, or an English business meeting. They're all going to be entirely different animals. And if you look at them with the sound off, you could hardly tell they're all doing the same thing, I think.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the other things. It was just like, if you're in a meeting, just be straightforward. Don't go into that tantrum. Don't dance around with it. Just speak your mind.
Okay.
Because one of the things where I work right now that I absolutely cannot is that they dance around the subject. I cannot stand that. Do not leave things up for interpretation.
True.
Just say it and be done. If it applies to one person, let that person know it applies to them. Don't leave the other 10 people in the room wondering, am I guilty of this and did not know?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's not good manners, but it's awful tempting sometimes. Very tempting.
Never go into a business meeting without your shin guards on. I think that's
and that's the thing. I want to know if it's me.
Yes, if I've screwed up, if I've offended you in something that I've done or said, throw it out there. You know, if I did it in person, if I intended it that way, now's a good time. Now's a good time to clear the air. See, but there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that that's done to set people up too. Okay.
Well, it's true. To incriminate themselves.
I've watched that happen. I've watched it done to people. And I just, no, that's see, that's the politics of it all. Okay. And I don't like, I've never really liked that. And I've never, in anything I've ever, I don't do that person to person. And I don't appreciate when that is done by one power broker to a group of people, because to a group of people, they can get away with it. Okay. So
I'll tell you one award I have never received working anywhere, and that is saying what everybody else is thinking.
Yes.
That has gotten me into more trouble at work over the lifetime, but I'm just one of those. It's never gotten me fired. Knock on wood. But I mean, what's the point of not putting out there what's going on? It never made any sense to me. And I'm telling you, it's gotten me into a lot of trouble. But I'm also one of those people that don't ask me if you don't want to know the answer, unless it's Cav. Look at you, teabagging ain't dipping your ball sack in boiling water unless it's Cav. I'm sure Kevin's not listening, and he's not. So I think we're safe on that. There's not going to be a response for that one. But I really am, and it's. I don't mean to be that way, and I'm not being rude, and I don't mean to be crass. But if you ask me a question and you want this answer, I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm pretty much the same way. You know, I may not like the answer I'm giving you myself. You know, or out to the group. I say, I may not like that answer, but that's the answer that's there. You know, if you want a different answer, you've got to ask a different question. You know, but still, so see how easy all this is.
Well, and the funny thing about it is, what I was reading, those were the things it was saying. Yeah. It was just be honest and just tell it. But I've never worked anywhere that wanted that.
Okay.
You know, if I'm in a meeting and somebody's being an ass and not doing what they're supposed to do, I'm going to call them out.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And for some reason,
there are people who use
that.
They use that opportunity and that etiquette to empower themselves. In you know, anytime, that's been my experience. You know, there are a certain kind of personality that do that. They can't help it.
It's just really odd. You know, communication is such a different thing for different people.
Sure.
I mean, some people don't want to know the truth. They want to hear things that makes their lives better, their mindset better.
Yes.
You know, I don't want to hear any bad news, and I'm guilty about. I'm tired. I don't want to hear.
I was going to
tired of
confess. You know, there are times when the shit just gets so deep. I don't want to wait in it anymore.
I don't want to hear it anymore.
I want to get up and go outside and smell the flowers and, you know, play with the grandchildren and forget about all of this shit. But that's what you need to do. I mean, that's a new survival strategy. Okay. But it doesn't change. It doesn't mean that you're ignoring it. Doesn't mean that you are condoning it. Okay. And I think that's the biggest chunk of us. We're ignoring it because it's not goring our ox.
Right.
Okay. It's not essential to our welfare to deal with something on that tiny, unimportant level today. But that doesn't mean I condone it. That doesn't mean I think it's okay. It just means it's over there. And as long as you keep it over there, I'm fine with it. Okay? But don't gore my ox. That will get an entirely different reaction. And I think that's a lot. Hell, that's everybody. Yeah.
I think this question is funny. Rockstar says, "How can we manipulate the other person?" Do you not watch the news, sweetie?
Yes.
You can watch the news, and then you can get on to any other platform and find a different version of all of that. So yeah, the media is in charge of manipulating us, and then we either accept it
Rockstar, you missed last week. If you wanted to know about manipulation, the conspiracy theories show was all about that. You know? Yes.
Every bit of it.
How can we be? Yes. 1,000 different ways. Yep.
Operation Mockingbird. Check it out.
Oh yeah. And I think
he said that wasn't a question. So
well, you took it as a question, so that makes it a question.
Yeah. You put it in a question form, and I accepted it that way. If that was not how you meant to communicate that statement, then you need to learn how to work on your etiquette.
Yes. What's that new program they got out now? I keep hearing commercials for it. Grammarly. You correct your spelling and you correct your words. Say, oh, this is the way to say it nicer. You know, this is the way to. Yeah. Dude. Is there? I kept thinking. Is there a real reason for this app? Okay. Yeah, I guess there is.
Well, even when you're writing a Word document,
sure,
it throws in suggestions for your grammar or how to structure a sentence.
Yeah,
and thank God for spell check.
Well, yes, I don't think of it as spell check. I think of it as typing check because I don't know of any words that have 3 P's in them. But for some reason, they keep showing up on my keyboard when I'm typing something. So, okay.
There you go. That's what we all need to know about. Rockstar's comment that now Andy has him thinking about a movie hole. Ta-da.
I'm trying to catch up here. God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're glad to see everybody here. I mean,
oh, absolutely.
Communication. So here's another thing that we didn't put in the subject line, but you've got something about communication, and we didn't add the censorship part of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh my. See, okay. Do we have that? Do we go back to Carlin's 10 unspeakable words? You know?
Oh my God, he was so awesome.
Oh God, yes.
He was so
He's like my
before his time. He was 30, 40 years before his time.
Yes. I don't know if I posted that on my Facebook or not, but I listened to one of his clips.
Mm-hmm.
It was so yesterday. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not 30 years ago when he wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that could have been.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, all the stuff he talked about then was still relevant then, but it was still behind the times as far as, or ahead of his time.
Yeah.
Compared to all the shit that's going on now. And it's now if he was alive and going through this, maybe he was a time traveler and he traveled back in time to tell us all this stuff, and then we were
wait a minute
laughing about it.
Bill and Ted's he was the
Greatest Adventures. That's right.
Bill and Ted's Adventures, absolutely.
See? It was all laid out there for us. We were told about it and we didn't know it until now.
And you didn't do it, and you do it, and what did you do? You just paid no mind. That's right. Well, who's the who should we be listening to today? That's like that. I can only think of one person that's even coming close.
I can't even think about it right
now. And I can't think of it. And his name just went right out of my head. He retired for a couple of years and came back.
That's a whole bunch of black.
The Daily.
White.
Was it the Daily Show?
Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart, yes. Jon Stewart has. He's
gotten into a lot of shit here lately.
He took a lady from the Pentagon, the Assistant Secretary of Defense or something, to task last week.
She didn't like it either.
Oh, what a shame.
She didn't like it at all.
She doesn't like being questioned. Well, what about that? What about that $5 trillion that you can't pick up, can't find? No, 61% of your budget. 61% of your budget you can't account for, and you don't think you should be questioned about that?
Oh, well, it wasn't just that. It was the fact that they had failed the last 5 audits.
Yes.
They failed the last 5 audits.
Oh, don't forget. That was their first 5 audits. And they have existed since God only knows when. Okay.
And they failed every one of them.
Before that, they were unaudible. And they fought for 10 years to get a quote unquote audit. And they've never passed one. Yeah.
They don't have to. That's why I think it's a joke that they.
Well, sure they do.
But he even made sure to say none of that falls back on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't blame
anything that happened back then cannot fall on you now. So he said, "I'm not doing that." But why can't you keep up with it? And she lost her mind. Where I think now times
she just dissembled. She had no explanation whatsoever.
I think nowadays, and I think the past 10, 15 years, possibly could have been more than that. They haven't put people in positions that need to be put there, that deserve to be there, that are the best for that position. I think they've just been putting people in there so they look good. So it's diverse. So it's not. I just don't think they put people in the positions like at work. We've all been someplace that they put a supervisor in a position and every employee underneath them was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yes.
This is the dumbest son of a bitch that ever walked the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Never showed up to work on time.
Whose daughter did he marry? Yeah.
Or whose wife did he fuck? You know, it's like whatever. But it's one of those. And we've all been in that situation. And it seems like the last 10, 15, 20 years, this is what we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's put a transgender person in this role because they're transgender. Let's put a woman in this role because they're a woman. Let's put a Latino or, you know, a black person in this position because we need that diversity. And I don't care what color you are. I don't care what sex you are.
Exactly.
If you can do the job,
I'd like to see it
go for it.
Set up so that they get to select from a pool. Okay, these are the 10 people that are competent to do this, are the best 10 people that, like the Office of Management and Budget or something, okay, says, well, according to the way we do it, these are the top 10 people that we think are candidates to be able to do this job. Okay, pick one of them. You know, but it's not.
And that was.
It's not even that.
Right. It's not.
It's not even
it's
that.
Like,
there's no criteria at all. It's who's going to go over there, and listen and do exactly what I want them to do.
Right.
God,
you know, and it's that, and that was a thing there for a while too.
I don't know for a fact that this administration is any better than the previous administration. At that, there's no great evidence there. Okay, but the last administration was a freaking horror show.
Well, honey, this one ain't any better. It's not any better at all.
The AEC, you remember who ran the AEC? The American Atomic Board. Gosh, what was his name? Oh, he believed that the pyramids were made to store grain. Okay, this is the guy I want controlling atomic power in the United States and all the nuclear weapons. Are you kidding me?
Well, I don't care that he believes that.
And he got in trouble almost instantly because he ordered himself a $100,000 desk.
Well,
you know, I mean,
okay. What? So why did he get in trouble for that? Every other motherfucker on there does that stuff.
Well, apparently not.
No. Oh, we can't control the military budget, but we're going to talk about this.
Okay.
The only reason that was brought up was because it was with a past administration. Each administration has a piece of shit the media picks on it.
Oh yeah, I mean, but he was one.
So it doesn't matter. And he may.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying
he may not have done it.
Yes.
He might not have done it. Did we see any of these people do that they're accused of? Do we ever have any evidence that what the media accuses them of? Do we ever have that evidence? No.
They're not prosecuted. Oh my goodness, they're not prosecuted.
So I can
They're not tarred and feathered and run out of town like they should be.
I can accuse you right now, and I can go on the news, and I can do whatever, and I can say, he just stole whatever, or he did this to me, or he ruined my career, about running his mouth.
Okay. I'm going to give you an example.
There's no proof of it.
There was half a dozen.
Go ahead.
There was half a dozen Ohio in the state Congress representatives, okay, that were involved in basically a plot, okay, to select the buyer for 3 atomic plants. Who's going to operate these 3 atomic plants in the state of Ohio? Okay. And they took $60 million in kickbacks on that bid. And the point is, the estimates are that over the next 10 years, that's going to cost the taxpayers of Ohio over $1 billion in overcharges on their electric, because they went with company A rather than company B. And this was a case where company A had no fucking idea what they were doing, but they're the one that got they were there with the payola, and they got the bid. And all those representatives are still in office. I mean, they're under criminal charges right now, but they're still in office. That's terrible. And I'm not. This is not a party thing. This is just a common sense thing, you know.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. It could be called out to the media, and then nationwide, and attention would be drawn to it.
And like I said, what was that
about it?
Are we manipulated? Hell yes, we're manipulated.
You know what? Yeah. I don't care if that dumbass really does believe that the pyramids were made to store grain. I don't care what he believes.
Mm-hmm.
He might even believe that the earth is flat. But as long as they do what they need to do that is right for this country and for the person sitting beside them, whether they're whatever party, as long as you do good unto others, I don't give a shit what you believe. I don't care if you never believe that a woman never farts. You know, if you think they never do, fine, whatever. But humor, sorry. But anyway, that's why I don't care what you believe, as long as you're doing good, as long as you're doing your job, as long as it's right for the next person.
Yes.
Not a political idea or something that goes along with. I'm just saying, I don't care what they believe.
If you're competent at your job,
that's all I need.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So, and that's what I'm saying. You were manipulated into that idea of the media. Mm-hmm. And here I am sitting here going, I don't care. I don't care about stupid stuff like that. I don't let that stuff get me tore up. What I'll let get tore up is if they are not taking care of somebody else's needs as far as healthcare, food, water, housing. You know, we've got homeless people, and they're homeless for a reason. And if you offer them shelter and they do not accept it, that's not your fault.
Yes.
But as long as you're doing your best to take care of what's really important, I don't care that you order a $100,000 desk. It doesn't mean it needs to be approved. Who approved it? Son of a bitch. We order stuff at work all the time. If it's not approved, it's turned down. Okay, well, there you go. We don't have anybody accountable.
So you want competence, you want accountability. You're being so unreasonable.
So awful.
Obviously, you know. No, I mean,
Horrible.
seriously. Um, if you're competent and accountable, or if you screw up and you're not competent, accountable, and don't make the country look bad, okay? I'd say any one of those three.
That's hard to do.
Yeah,
Don't make the country look bad.
obviously, it's damn near impossible. But you should be just go. Just just don't let the door hit you on the way out. That's all.
But
Oh
yeah, I mean,
God.
that's the thing. That's how easily people are manipulated.
Or even a treasury secretary. Yes. Or an economist. Yes. Oh, heaven forbid! Heaven forbid! Secretary of the Treasury
Mm.
saying, "Oh, the best thing we can do for the economy is raise interest rates. That'll make everything better."
So much better.
Yeah. Competence?
But doesn't that always follow? I don't know. Oh, look here, who finally showed up an
Yeah.
hour into the show.
That's okay. He was doing real world work.
Yeah. You know what? Whatever
He's cleaning his
excuse
clothes.
it takes.
There it is. I think he was real. I think he was real. I think he was eating. Yeah. That's even. Yes. Such frivolous things. Yes.
Okay, he could eat while he watches the show. It's not like he's talking or anything. You know.
Ooh.
Sorry, I love to give him crap because he's yours. That's the fun part about it.
I'm just glad he's here.
Mhm. The car is almost done.
Yep. Junkyard to concourse in about a month. Pretty much. I mean, seriously. It was it was headed that way. Okay. I mean, it really was. I said, no. That car's. I know somebody. I know what we. I know somebody that needs that car.
Mhm.
especially when he was getting like 10 miles a gallon driving to work.
Mhm.
Every day. Says,
Aren't you glad
nah,
Dad twisted your arm?
that little 38 mile per gallon low mileage beater
Mhm.
is exactly what he needs. Of course, it wasn't up to his standards, but given a month and a lot of elbow grease, I think I'm proud of it. So there. Oh, okay.
Oh, he's putting a video
Go
together.
ahead and
Right.
post the YouTube link. We'll see how many hits you get on that baby.
Let's do that. I've got to go take care of my furry humans, and I will be right back.
Okay. Furry humans? I don't know what kind of menagerie she's running there now. So what's the average age in here? Post, everybody. Oh. That's interesting. Come on, but D. I know you're younger than you act. Good grief, Ron, you're getting to be an oldster. I don't know. Oh my God, I'm in trouble now then. I sent you dirty pictures the other day. Uh, that's okay. I'll admit to it. I'll have to ban her from the humor uh, Skype chat. There you go, Rock. See, there really aren't any children in here. I'm pretty sure of that. So. We're having fun. Oh God. I did not know that. What is he? Hey, good grief. I had no idea Vegas was a young town. I thought they just looked young. because of the sun and the plastic surgery. Yeah, there you go. I prefer the young at heart. Okay, that's the important. You're thank goodness you're not as old as you feel. You can be as you don't have to be. You can act as you can. It's better to act the age that you feel than to try to act the age that they are. Somehow back in the original days, back in ancient history, I never thought I'd see 70, and it's right around the corner now. And that's not scary, but boy, that was just unexpected. I think when I was old enough to figure out that I wasn't going to live forever, the year 2000 was so far in the future that it was just untouchable. And now it's almost a quarter century behind us. So don't let the years slip away from you. Remain engaged, and that's all we can do. Try to enjoy each day as much as you can. You know, be kind to each other, and that's good enough. What's an Inca? I feel like an Inca. Okay.
Wasn't that a civilization that got wiped out?
That one of them, yeah.
One of many.
Yes.
Could you imagine what it would be like if it was still, if the Roman era still ensued?
I'm sorry. Finish your question again. I missed a bit of it.
What have you ever wondered what it would be like if the Roman era was still in control?
I'm afraid we might find out. I don't think it was fun. I thought, you know what I thought you were going to ask?
What?
What if when the Europeans discovered America, okay, and South America and Central America and the Aztecs and the Incas and everybody else, what if it hadn't been for disease? What would these two continents look like if there had been no smallpox, no common cold, no and the several other diseases that were brought over by the Europeans. Okay, they couldn't have won. Those original settlers, the Jamestown colony and the Plymouth colony, they landed on basically depopulated land that had already been wiped out by the plagues, that had swept through as much as 100 years before, that was still severely underpopulated.
Mhm.
So if they hadn't gained that bridgehead by and with what they did with it after they realized it,
Mhm.
that it was there as a weapon, it's almost unimaginable. You know, I mean that but just a small thing, a couple of little microbes that didn't make it around the world the other way.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know. It would be so different. I'm not saying it would be better. You know, I'm just saying it would be so different. It would be unimaginable. But you know, so that was like an American singularity. Okay, that movement, that event. Nobody would have predicted that. Nobody living before that would have predicted that. So it was a singularity. And I think we're approaching another singularity.
Mhm.
I think a lot of people have that feeling.
Jay said, didn't the Mayans, whatever, just disappear? And they did.
Uh, kind of. The anthropologists aren't sure yet. Now they're thinking there was a great drought, a great like 50-year drought,
Mhm.
50-year drought, much like what is going on in, say, California and Arizona right now. They're suffering from a 50-year drought.
Mhm.
That's why Lake Mead is empty, you know?
Okay, so last week's show could tie into this,
Mm-hmm.
but that's a kind of a great conspiracy theory about that right now.
Weather channel, weather control. Oh yeah,
Modification.
sure. Mm.
But and that's a lot of stuff that we get into, and that's something I've never understood. That one state, and it's not just them. You take New York,
Mm-hmm.
you take Oregon, and you take Washington, and you could probably take a few of the other northern states and
Mm-hmm.
the West Coast, and it's so different from the flyover country.
Oh yes,
Completely
yes.
different.
Uh,
I mean, people don't
oh, the
even think the same from one side of the state to the other. I mean, just in the state that I live in, you've got three different ways of thinking. I mean, you can just Eastern, Central, Western, and well, you could probably do four. You got the northern part, then the central. You know, everybody's way of thinking is completely different.
do you think
And
I yeah.
but you look at the beautiful part. I mean, California is. I've only seen pictures. I've never gone out there. I
Mm-hmm.
have no desire to go there because it is so crazy. And that's the big cities. I'm sure the small cities are nothing like
Uh-huh.
that, but it's everybody suffers in these places. You have your rolling blackouts. You have taxes that are horrible.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
just outrageous.
It blows my mind, totally does, that the automobile and plates registrations
Mhm.
in California are like $700 a year.
Well, see, in here,
Yeah.
it's your charged sales tax that we got, I think, like 6% sales tax on everything. So
Okay.
every year, to license my vehicle, it's 6% of what it,
The value of the vehicle?
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Tell me between that and property taxes, why the hell do I keep having to pay you sales tax on on something I bought years ago,
That's
and
true.
I didn't repurchase it,
That seems an unfair way to do it, you know?
but every place does
Right.
it, and it goes
Oh,
back for years. I mean,
oh yeah,
years.
yeah. Different
And
places have different ways.
nobody is trying to change it. And it's because how else is the state going to fund the shit that they want to do?
Well,
The sales tax
that
to
brings
license my
to
truck.
mind the gas taxes. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Gas wouldn't
Between
cost
the
half as much if it
federal
wasn't for
and
the taxes.
yeah, there's a federal gas tax, there's a state gas tax. Every state's
There's a
are
luxury
different.
tax. There's a city
But
tax.
I think the average is around the I forget what the fixed federal tax. It's like 26 cents or something. And the average state road tax for gasoline is like 33 cents a gallon. Okay. A few years back, that federal road fund had so fucking much money in it, they didn't know what to do with it. Okay.
Instead of
That's like
fixing the damn roads.
they had like $40 billion. Okay. I'm just throwing a number out there. And then they authorized it for something else. And I don't remember what it was. I've even looked for it. Not really hard, but looked for it. And I don't know what it was. I don't know what happened. But now they're saying suddenly, oh no, we don't have any. We can't fix the roads. We can't fix the state roads. Well, wait a minute. What about that? What about that strange gas tax? It's like the school tax. Oh, the lottery will pay for the school tax, right? And the lottery's taking in freaking billions of dollars a week.
They didn't really word it that way. They didn't say that it would take care of the school tax. They said it would go towards education. It's a whole different meaning.
Oh, okay. Yes, excuse me.
Every state has used that same line.
Yes.
And that's like, I know down where I work. I work 2 counties down from where I live. And they are in a huge debate come May 16th whether to vote in alcohol sales or not. That little county's dry.
Okay.
And it butts up against 2 counties, 3 counties. There's 3 counties that surround it that are wet.
Right.
So you've got your local people driving out of the county to spend money.
Get drunk. Back.
And that's the way they look at it. Oh, we don't need all these damn drunks. Well, honey, they drive over here. And this county, this city is making the money that your county and city could be making.
Yep.
Your business could be making it.
Sure.
So, but they're just, I've seen more no vote signs than I have yes vote signs. But that's like the county that I live in.
Yeah.
This will never be wet. This county will never be wet. And I'll tell you the reason why this county will never be wet.
Okay.
Is because it's
you aren't in one of those green counties, are you?
I have we have a national state park
Yeah.
in this
Okay.
county, and it takes up half of this county. And there were promises made, apparently, and I have to research this a little bit
Okay.
more, of what the federal government would do for this county if the county allowed it.
Mm-hmm.
The federal park, which I don't know why they said
Okay.
allow it, because it's the federal government and they're going to do whatever the hell they want to. But apparently there was some perks that was supposed to go along with it that never ever happened.
Oh.
So basically,
When was that made? When was that made a federal park? That was probably one of the early ones. I'm thinking.
Mammoth Cave National Park. I have to look that up. Sorry.
It wasn't there with Yellowstone and Yosemite, but more. But it was,
I do know.
Probably, would have been in the 1920s.
I'm not real sure. I know there's 400 miles of the cave. Maybe I should have gone to Wikipedia instead of straight to that website. Right? Mammoth Cave. I know I do know there was plenty of fighting over who would have an opening to that. Every farm owner or whatever tried to claim that they had the opening to that land, and it brought in tourists from everywhere.
Yes. I didn't. There's more than. Are there more than there? Are there more than one entrance into Mammoth Cave? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there is. And now the federal government owns all of it. But at that time, it was separate, privately owned businesses or farms, and they tried to get into and make money off of it. And I don't blame them, because that's the way you got to do it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at 1941, July 1st, 1941 was when it was established.
So actually, that's later than I thought I would have thought.
Mm-hmm.
But not much later. Yeah.
It has the longest. It's Mammoth Cave National Park is a national park in South Central Kentucky. Portions of Mammoth Cave, the longest cave system known in the world.
Okay.
The park is 52,830 acres and are located primarily in Edmonson County, with small areas extending eastward into Hart and Barron counties. And the Green River runs through the park, with and then a tributary called Nolan River feeding into the Green River just inside the park. Nolan Lake is a huge tourist thing, like just north of here. So yeah, so everybody was trying to buy into this, and what is it? Floyd Collins. You can look him up. He was, I think it was Floyd Collins. I might have to look that up. He was famous for actually dying in the cave because he was trying to get in, and some stuff ate into him, and they couldn't get to him. So I mean, it's pretty crazy. I'm looking him up. Floyd Collins, Mammoth Cave. That was he was born in 1887, and he died February 13th, 1925. So in 1925, he was trying to make money for the family or whatever and get into something like that. So,
well, there were resources that were mined out of there for the Civil War. saltpeter for gunpowder,
Mm-hmm.
fertilizer for anybody that wanted it. Okay. I mean, that was okay. What do we have? Like 30 30,000 years of bat dung,
Oh
believe
yeah.
me. I mean, it fertilized a lot of fields,
Mm-hmm.
and gunpowder. Duh, you know, it was
Oh
a
yeah.
very that was an absolutely required natural resource.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's
I
all
don't
pretty
know.
interesting.
I don't have as much. I haven't read as much history about that place as I should, though, I guess.
Well, I mean,
One of these days.
it's okay. And I've heard a lot of dumb rumors about
Oh, wait. Are there any billionaire bunkers in Mammoth Cave system?
no, what I've heard rumors about is reptilians in military bases. The dumbs.
Ah, yeah, okay.
I don't think anything's been founded about that.
Let me see. The deep underground military bases,
Mm-hmm.
and then extraterrestrial reptilians. So you could have dumb and dumber, right?
Yes, and we do. Trust me.
Hmm. Yes, but where will we be without the sticks and stones?
Mm. Mm. I would absolutely, yeah. I would, if I was going to travel back in time, I would
Mm-hmm.
go see what this area looked like.
How far back?
I'd say mid to early 1800s.
Okay. That was. I bet.
And I could even go back.
I bet you wouldn't see a lot of difference in the 1800s.
I think I would.
Okay.
But I would also be willing to go back to about the early 1700s.
Okay.
I'd like to do both of them.
Me, I would like to go back probably 13,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I want to see freaking
Mm-hmm.
giant hairy elephants walking through the forest,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it would be cool to see a big big mammoth walking through, because the Ice Age was all the way down.
Well, and several other giant animals, including carnivores, but I'd stay away from those. The 7 foot at the shoulder bears,
Mm-hmm.
probably
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to mess with them. The 6 foot at the shoulder lions, I want to keep my distance from. But there certainly weren't that many. Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could ride a mammoth. Yes.
I kind of think, and one of the reasons I would love to know.
You could plant your own little nest house. Macrame, mammoth macrame.
Exactly. I think one of the reasons I would like to go back that far is because of the things I've learned since I've been here.
Okay.
And I would like to see how those timelines run together.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
I'd like to see how that goes. Mm-hmm.
So, but I've thought about that a lot. That's a time, before that extinction,
Mm-hmm.
that just had to be so different. you know. Uh, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I saw it on here before. I saw. No, here's the one I was wanting to post. But it does make me wonder. I mean, I know you see all of these documentaries about North Dakota and all of the fossils and things that were found back then with the dinosaurs, and it was just huge amounts of them. And it would, I think I would like to know at what elevation have they found that at? Is it up higher than where I'm at, than where I am? Is it lower? I kind of want to know where that extinction line is, elevation wise. Are we not digging far enough down for fossil?
Okay, you're looking for the
For the
KT layer in Kentucky?
Sure.
Uh,
Is that in the Appalachians? If it is, we ain't never gonna find that shit. Trust me.
no. Well, see,
That's like trying to find Bigfoot in the forest.
no, I think that 65 million year old layer is probably very deep.
But that's what I was so like. I don't know what elevation.
It's like a couple hundred feet underground or the existing ground level in.
Yeah, but I know that they're
our area. Okay, we're on the same plate, so I'm thinking it is. I don't
know. That's something I'd like to see, because we've got that limestone. I mean, this is nothing but cave system. I mean, yes. I'm on top of the freaking cave.
Okay,
and right.
But you see, limestone. There wasn't a sea to form limestone after the age of the dinosaurs. The sea that formed that limestone was 200 billion years before that.
Okay.
So it may have been. I mean, there was a layer there at the KT extinction, but it may have with the uplift, okay, of the Appalachians, it may have just sluiced off, and it's not there for either one of us. It may be gone.
But I know out there, and what I've seen, what they've talked about, erosion is a lot more than what it is here. I mean, it's way more open.
Well, see. The thing is, the erosion, a lot of the erosion that's here is barely even visible anymore.
Well, but no, out there it is. I mean, they'll have
because it's so dry. It's constantly dry. It's in the shadow of the Rockies.
Well, and they don't have the vegetation there that we do here.
Right.
So all of these fossils are brought up to the surface because of erosion. Mm-hmm. So if they come up on a bed of bones, half of them might have already been washed away, and they could never put together what this was.
Right.
They just have a scattered. So that's what I was kind of wondering. Have we already eroded away the same layer that they're discovering, or is it down deeper?
I'm thinking the former rather than the latter.
Okay.
In the middle of the country, through the middle of the country. Okay. But that's a kind of an educated guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, it's got to be the same foot. I mean, wherever they're finding it there, it's got to be the same elevation here. You know what I mean? Above sea level.
Kind of, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's all at the same, whatever it was back then when it happened.
Right. But there, because it was drier,
Mm-hmm.
there was less
It's
erosion,
changed.
and it didn't get worn down as much.
Right.
Here, because it was wetter, it got washed away, 1 grain at a time. Yeah. Because you can find fossils. You can find fossils here. You can find mammoth teeth turn up all over the place. Every now and then they find a bog that has a full-grown mammoth in it. You know,
But you know what? If you don't know
even
what you're
up to
looking
like
for,
30, 40,000 years.
mm-hmm.
And those are shallow. Those are shallow depositions. Okay.
Right.
Like 40,000 years old. But to go very, very much deeper,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Well, you know, it's like if you look at a rock and it looks strange to you and it doesn't look like what's around you,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what you're looking at.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it's anybody could go by and like, I don't know what this is, pitch it, not have a clue.
Yep.
So
I'm fairly, and that brings me back to another old guy story. I absolutely swear that when I was a kid down in the mountains,
Mhm.
I found this rock that was a little bit bigger than a football.
Mhm.
Okay. And it was very, very heavy.
Mhm.
And me and some other kids hauled it down off the mountain. Okay.
Oh Lord, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Said, what the hell is this? This is a weird rock we found up there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, oh, that's just an old furnace clinker. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Except looking at it now,
Mhm.
that was a fucking meteorite.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That was a
You
meteorite.
don't know. Yeah.
I didn't know.
But what do you know?
And the adults that we showed it to had no concept.
It's not
But
something that's taught.
Because I've looked, I'm looked at that. I don't know what it was. Something brought that to mind. And I said, that was a freaking meteorite.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been, and because it was like embedded in the side of the hillside, it could have been laying there for and eroded out. It could have originally hit 100,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Just now, eroded out of the side of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I as the chances of actually going back down and finding that again are pretty slim. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave that. I'll leave that as my legacy. Okay.
There you go.
I'll make a treasure map. This
Yes.
is where it was. This is where I found it, and this is where it was the last time I saw it.
Yes, exactly.
They said, oh, that's just an old clinker. Oh well, we'll just toss that over the hill. It's gone.
Papa Tom asked me what my cat's name is, and if he's talking about the gray one, his name is Darius, like Pharaoh Darius. Because when I found him, I know this is totally off the subject.
This is a conversation, this is not a deposition. This is a conversation.
But when he come up to the house, he seriously looked like one of those cat statues that you would find in Egypt. This sleek, slender face, body. I mean, just perfect.
Okay.
And man, I mean, so I don't know why, but I picked out the name Darius for Pharaoh Darius. Well, it wasn't 6 months later, he become this big chunk of meat that's just fat and lazy. So,
Yes, there you go.
anyway, so the meaning is totally lost on his name now. But, yeah. But everybody sees his name and they think it's Darius. But it's Pharaoh Darius. Anyway.
Which one was that? I don't remember hearing that.
I think he was
Khufu.
He wasn't a very good one.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't very good or very well known. And I looked it up at one time, and I think he was after Tut.
Okay.
I think he was after Tut. Yeah.
See?
Which that's something I wish I understood more.
Which is what?
The Pharaoh.
Oh, okay.
God, they were fucking kids.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And they ruled everything.
Yeah.
Just kids.
The fact that see, that's another thing that's alien to us. You know, this country's been here for 200 years, 268 years or whatever.
We don't understand shit.
We've been on about, you know, they had dynastic families that lasted for like 2,000 years.
Yeah.
You know? And another 1,000 before that and another 2,000 after. Basically with the same culture. You know?
But see, and didn't they also have, I mean, I've seen stuff where they've talked about they had flushing toilets. I mean, they were not Neanderthals by any means.
No. All these things. There's so many of those lost things that kind of went away for a while and then came back, and suddenly they're wonderful modern inventions. Actually, they did that for thousands of years ago.
Oh my God! Look who just showed up.
Alice!
There's Lorraine.
Alice, we're going to have to put you on the notice list. We'll give you a special notice.
Wow. It's good to see you, Lorraine. Glad you're here. But yeah, you go to the Egyptians had a lot of modern stuff.
Oh,
that they don't really talk about and they don't tell you about to this day.
I've been following
very advanced
some of the stuff that is being done. There was a group that found a hard stone vase, okay, maybe about 10 inches, 10 inches tall. I don't know, a little smaller than a basketball, okay, nicely shaped vase, okay. And they decided, okay, we've got this. This was in a private collection, and they put it in a laser scanner, okay, just to see, maybe to get some idea of how they had made it, right? And they said, we couldn't make this today with a CNC machine because it is so, the inner surfaces and the outer surfaces and the tangents between one kind of surface and another kind of surface are so mathematically perfect. We can barely measure it. The difference on the indicator between following the exact mathematical profile and what we have on that urn is indistinguishable. Why do you, not only how do you do that, but why would you do that? And this is one example that they have done this to, of thousands that are in the rubble piles. How the hell did they do that? We have no idea. So
I don't know. There's plenty about that. I mean, you look at the different pharaohs that they went through, and they didn't have, none of them had a very long lifespan.
Very few did.
And the lifespan, it seemed like their elders lasted longer than they did.
Well, yeah. I'm trying to think, was it Ramses?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That lived to like 85 or something. It was like, yeah, the kind of an outlier, really. But that whole.
But that was also a society that tried to wipe out their female pharaoh.
Oh, they had what, three known female pharaohs.
Mm-hmm.
Hatshepsut. I can't remember the next one. But no, they erased them from history. They did all they could do to erase them from history.
Is it Nefertiti?
Nefertiti.
Nefertiti.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Cleopatra.
That's the most famous one that they talk about, female. And they try to wipe them all out. And none of them, even the males, they didn't live long. They came into power in their teens, and did they even last till they're 30?
Yeah.
And it was like the minute that they were made a pharaoh, they started building the pyramid for their tomb.
Right.
Immediately.
Well, let's see. So what we were saying there, and going back to what I know about other things that I know, the king that was supposedly the pharaoh that built the Great Pyramid and other things there, but that and by it, so he had a 20-year reign. So he started building that the day he got coronated, and before he finished his 20-year reign, that was built. I ain't buying that. I just ain't buying that. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know how they built it, but that still is just an extraordinary piece of architecture.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
But that kind of makes me wonder too. So what was the correlation between the time? We are so totally going off subject, and we are almost going to 2 hours. Maybe I need to shut up. But what I was fixing to ask, what's that time correlation between Egypt and Rome? The Roman era, which we kind of know because we've got Cleopatra and we've got Mark Antony.
The Romans are Johnny-come-latelys.
Yeah.
I think Rome formed about 600 AD, minus 600 or 600 BC was the formation of Rome. And at that point, Egypt had been an empire for 4,000 years. It's like you put a timeline there, and Rome is here, and this is the beginning of Egypt.
Right.
Rome is yesterday. Right. And Egypt is 10 years ago.
Okay, so you've got Egypt, Roman, and then the 30 years that Jesus lived?
Yes.
Okay. But there was Cleopatra and Mark Antony.
Yes. Well, Egypt is still there now.
Right.
Egypt as a kingdom, okay, still lasted into the thousands. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The burning of the great library of Alexandria,
Mm-hmm.
okay, where they lost God only knows how much ancient knowledge, was around the first millennium.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
Okay.
at that point, Rome had fallen 600 years before. So the period of the great, the Caesars and the empire of Rome was really about 1,000 years. So that's what makes, it's that kind of thing. And that was a great empire. And the strange thing is to imagine that now, when in a time when empires rise and fall in a couple of lifetimes, to think of one lasting for thousands and thousands of years. Where was their head? How was their head? How were they so different from the way we think now? I don't know. I do not have an explanation.
And in the great scheme of things,
Okay.
Pompeii wasn't, what year was that? 16?
60s. It's like 70 AD, I think. Yeah, so it was in the inside the first century.
I was thinking it was.
That's.
But there's a lot more record about.
We still laugh at the graffiti on the walls. Okay.
But Pompeii, and that was the thing about it, is that stands out more like there seems to be more record of what happened then.
Yes.
Than anything from Egypt or the Roman Empire.
Well,
it just kind of blows my
mind. It was an entire resort community, really. Pompeii was. Pompeii was like Miami Beach. Okay.
Oh yeah. What Miami?
With a volcano. Volcano right behind it. Yeah. And they just got, in a day, they got entombed and buried and lost for 2,000 years. And Göbekli Tepe at I don't know what they're 14,000 years ago. Okay, go to the earliest. Okay, we're going to step back. Okay, here's today, 2,000 years from the birth of Christ. Okay, 4,000 years to the first pharaohs. We still got 8,000 years to go to find Göbekli Tepe on the timeline.
But tying in last week to this week, the Earth is only 6,000 years old. We can't do that.
Oh yeah, this is true. Well, I forgot about it. In our imaginary timeline that we built up with those silly radiocarbon dates and stuff.
Right. Yeah. What are we thinking? Yeah. How can we even be talking about this now? Yeah.
Yeah.
There were no dinosaurs.
It's more fun to think about it that way,
I guess. Yeah. I guess. Anyway, I know how long it takes a damn oak tree to grow. Don't talk to me about the Earth just being 6,000 years old.
Oh,
Sorry.
what wasn't there a great sequoia in the Pacific Northwest that
Blight
they
took it out, didn't
say
he?
would have? Well, I know there's this weird withered pine up somewhere. Okay, that's up on the side of a mountain somewhere that supposedly is 4,000 years old. But the great sequoias could be did almost would live for 2,000 years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's those bucket list things.
Yeah, that's one of them.
That is one of the ones I'd really, really like to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to go there and see that.
That's like the big redwoods in California where they've carved
Yes.
the middle of it out. So a
And
vehicle
you could drive a car through it.
and the tree's still alive. I couldn't imagine
Yeah.
doing that to a tree in the first place. But anyway,
No.
but we dig through mountains and stuff like that, so I don't guess that's really any different. You're doing it to the earth one way or the other. You can't really blame the soldiers and they don't know the background.
Oh wait, let me
They signed up for it too late. Yeah.
Okay.
Iran has untouched history. Yeah, you're exactly right. We're not allowed. Nobody's allowed.
That Tartaria was a virtually extinctified culture in the North and Central Asia, I think, supposedly. But if it's the one I'm thinking about, they have found some archaeological sites. But when they found them, they said, we don't know any culture like this.
Right.
Built like this or did this. Particularly not in this area.
Yep.
So there are mysteries to be had yet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
One.
But see, okay, so she brings up there protecting history, and it's like the Taliban has spent many, many, many years.
They're not. Okay.
Destroying everything that they can get their hands.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's the bad part.
A lot of those. There's competing forces. I don't know.
Yeah. Dumbasses fighting each other.
Well,
that's all it is.
It's manipulation. It's the same thing we started with. Manipulation. There is no history but my history. My history says the world started in 4,768 BC.
Right.
And
yeah. Exactly.
Anything that shows anything different from that, it's my God proclaimed duty to destroy that falsehood.
Yep.
We got them in this country too. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we've done pretty well. We've
goodness.
We've been 2 hours.
Almost 2 hours.
My phone's almost dead.
See,
my computer's going to get plugged up soon.
See, it's a conversation. We just go till we get where we gone.
And we totally left all humor out of it whatsoever. Maybe we'll get to that next week. But anyway,
one of these days, we'll get really. We're working on the humor thing.
Yeah.
We'll have to get. We just need to recruit better writers.
Auntie has done very well with sending both of us stuff.
Oh yes. I've given him a new avenue.
Yeah.
Appreciative fans there.
Exactly.
I've just got it.
Exactly.
So if you're interested in humor, contact me on Skype.
Yeah.
or Oofy or VV or who else is in there? Andy.
RV Psycho,
And
man. She's just great.
we will sign you in.
Yeah. Andy Morrow. Oh my God. I think he lives to send shit just because he can.
Yes. He does
And it's great.
He does indeed like to stir the pot. Just keep him out of the kitchen.
Don't eat his cooking. Because you don't know what's in that pot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just, and that's one of the things that I absolutely, I mean, we've got great people. Everybody sends us the funny stuff, and we need, excuse me, I think we really need to take a show and post all the memes that we get.
Oh my God.
Two of us. And you know, and it's and two.
We've used that for filler.
Oh yes, we have. Yes,
but yeah, that could.
But,
that, could that could be like a monthly show. You know,
you need to give out the email address again, and anybody that, and maybe even put it in the description with YouTube. Email us with comments or topics, or I mean. Send us stuff.
I promise I will do that. I will edit that up on YouTube, and we will get that going.
Yeah.
You know how it is. You got to whip me and remind me. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's me too.
Well, you had the reputation for that with the whip. I don't know. I think that was Andy's, but that's okay. You could,
Yeah, you know what? I think I can find that for you about right now. But yeah, I mean, it's I mean, you've got that out there for a reason. The email address, you don't advertise it much, and maybe you just kind of need to show that out there sometimes. But
that's true.
Yeah. This is what Charles is talking about. But we kind of need to get Andy to edit that and get rid of the duff part. So, because I have dropped that last night. So.
There you go. Well, I'll tell you. I think this has been a fun show. I think so.
It really has.
Been out there and it's been an enjoyable show. Mm-hmm. And I really want to thank everybody for being here and for hanging out with us.
For 2 hours.
For 2 whole hours. Yes.
Applause to you all. Yes.
And so I'm so glad to see Lorraine made it over here. I don't think Lorraine had been over here before. So She has. So okay.
Lorraine's been with us.
It's been a while. So thanks for checking in. And all the other regulars, we're so glad to have you. And we'll be
Venus Rockstar, Bobby, Ron, Andy, Uthie, Jay. Yeah, I gotta say whatever. You're always so damn late coming to the show, but
there you go.
Anyway, you were here. Proud of you. Like, subscribe. You don't even have to like. Just subscribe. Get your notifications. If you want to show up to show, great. If you don't, if you ain't feeling it, go.
That's okay.
But spring is here. Charles's attitude is a lot better, so it's a better show. Just like
my attitude from where it has been this winter, winter of the dark winter of the soul. We're needing. It's all painfully climbing back to sunshine. I feel like it was like a seed. I was like planted like a seed. I'm just worming my way up one bit at a time to springtime.
Now we have to get through pollen season, and then everything's good.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Love you.
Good night, all.
everybody. So glad to see you here.
Thanks. See you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Bye-bye.